Hi, my name is Burnis and I love living in Mendon, Utah. The people that I've met here have become some of my greatest friends. I've lived in many places, but this community of Mendon is so very special. There's so much history here, and for that matter, all of America. I love history and researching not only my ancestors, but those who lived here in America long before the Europeans came here. I love to search out and visit those places where they dwelt. It's amazing what they accomplished and the communities they built. I grew up in Star Valley, Wyoming. It was here that I developed a love for history. My mother, Delsa, was amazing. She kept a ton of newspaper articles and journals about her life and many other people that lived in the valley as well. She and my father Leland drove to Idaho Falls almost every week to serve in the Idaho Falls Temple. They did this for over 10 years. They loved to seek out and perform ordinances for our ancestors as well as others. Their love for this work was passed on to me. I've been doing family history work for many years. I've sought out information on my ancestors in order to not only complete their temple ordinances, but to learn about them, who they were, what they did, what they liked. Did they have a testimony of the gospel of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints? When did they join the Church of Jesus Christ? If they did, it has and continues to be a great adventure. I cannot remember now who said these words, but I've never forgotten them. When you leave this life and greet your ancestors, do you want it to be an introduction or a reunion? It's my desire that I know enough about them for it to be a reunion. Whether we dive in and learn about the lives of our ancestors or add our own stories and experiences for future generations, family history works to connect us to our families and to our Heavenly Father. Doing family history also helps us identify ancestors who need the opportunity to receive saving gospel ordinances. My mother often talked to me about my great-grandmother, Anne Shelton Howard. She was born in Worcestershire, England in 1817. She joined the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in 1851 and sailed to America in June of 1864. It took them 1 month and 16 days. They then traveled to St. Joseph, Missouri, where they hired a man, his team, and wagon to carry their family to the Rocky Mountains. At Council Bluff, Nebraska, they joined with the Hyde Company and deported for Salt Lake City. It was a long and difficult journey, and they lost 2 of their lovely daughters within just 10 days of each other during these travels. Anne soon grew weaker and exhausted in both body and spirit, but she carried on. In her weakened condition, Anne contracted mountain fever, but she insisted upon walking along with the others. And on October the 7th, she reeled backwards and forwards and would have fallen if Joseph, her husband, hadn't caught her in his arms. And then on the morning of October the 8th, 1864, the oxen were hitched to the wagon and ready to leave when Anne passed away in the arms of their 12-year-old daughter, Emma. She was only 47 years old. They were just 250 miles from the valley that she so longed to reach. Their clothing was sewn up in a big burlap sack, which had been painted black to keep the water out. The sack was opened and Anne's best clothes were taken out. Sister Jones and Sister Lowe, who later married their son Thomas, washed Anne and dressed her, and Emma combed her mother's beautiful auburn hair. While this was going on, the men dug the grave, which was on the south side of the road at Bitter Creek, where she was buried. It always bothered my mother where this grave was, and she talked about it often. After a long time of research, not only by myself but other members of our extended family, it became evident that she was buried near Big Pond Station in the old overland stage route near Bitter Creek in Wyoming. In October of 2015, I, along with my wife Lana, traveled to Wyoming to pick up my mother and head out in search of the old Big Pond Station in Wyoming. It was our hope to find Ann Shelton's burial place. We located the remains of Fort Laclede Station, built in 1862, which was only 50 feet from Bitter Creek. We knew that Big Pond was approximately 12 miles to the west of the Laclede Stage Station. It was not easy to find. We drove here and there and walked here and there, finally located the ruins with the help of a cattle rancher who gave us some rough directions. We all felt this barren place had a very special feeling. The journals we had indicated she was buried on the south side of Bitter Creek. We had brought with us a small monument that was put in place which quieted my mother's concerns that no one knew or would remember this stalwart pioneer. Blessed with the priesthood of God, I dedicated this area as we did not know the actual burial place. This was a very special opportunity for all of us. I have a testimony of the truthfulness of the gospel of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and that it was restored in 1830 by God's prophet Joseph Smith. What a blessing it is to all of us. I also have a very strong testimony of the importance of family history and temple ordinances, which can allow us and our families to be together when we return to our Heavenly Father for all eternity. I'd like to thank you all for allowing me to share this story.